Hello everyone and welcome to this demonstration of the Mythric Mystery Master, or M3 as we like to call it, Game Master screen. Today we're just going to walk through a story we have today called Ghostly Encounter, as well as talk about all of its features. So let's get started. Here on the left hand side you have the timer controls, which start with your default time. You can scrub up and down by minute. Your active players. So for our example, we're going to go ahead and put 4 players in the room. M3 tracks the statistics for each of these sessions so that over time you can see trends with your number of players. The number of clues available, which you can set a default, and you can add or subtract as the game goes on. Your overall progress, which we're actually going to talk about and show some examples of as we start the game here. And your story controls to start, stop, pause the game, etc. In the middle, we have our core content, which is your objectives that the players have to complete while they're going through the room, trying to win. Each of these objectives might be an electronic puzzle, might be a lock, might be a physical door, might be opening or finding a chest. It could be a combination of things. We allow you to actually control the completion of those objectives either manually or through prop integration as they go through the room. On your right-hand side, you have a chime to get the player's attention, and manual Game Master events that they can trigger to either override existing electronic props or to do things on the fly based on the player interaction. You'll also notice we have some events that are grayed out. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute. Our soundtrack display, which shows we're playing the background music right now. We're not going to have any audio from the M3 engine play on this demonstration because otherwise it would drown me out, and that would be disappointing. Story values, where you can actually create variables to track and use as event triggers during the game. And also other connected screens. In this case, we have a countdown timer that's connected and currently idle, but it's got 100% network reliability, so everything's looking good here. Let's go ahead and get started with our room. First thing that'll happen when we hit start is going to prologue mode. You'll notice the timer is not running. That's because on our countdown screen, it's currently playing the prologue. When that video finishes, it will then automatically turn the game into running mode and start the timer. For interest of time, we're going to go ahead and skip that. And you'll notice we go straight into running and the timer has begun. So here we are, off and running. We're going to actually go ahead and do some things here. So the players immediately are in there, they're working on the dragon chest. We're going to go ahead and complete that. And complete the doll chest as well. You'll notice what's happening as I'm clicking through these. The objectives are turning green and the clues related to those objectives are disappearing. That's by design. Once they've completed that objective, your Game Master doesn't need those clues anymore. So less is more. I'll complete that here. The Game Master at any time can send clues ranging from video, text, other events, images, and audio. They can also be in different languages, such as you'll see our Arabic example here. But sending a clue is as simple as clicking this button. You'll notice as I send clues, they gray out a little bit. That's so the Game Master knows what clues they've already sent, but it doesn't prevent them from resending it if the players say, hey, can you send that again? We didn't read it. Something like that. And of course, on the right-hand side, I can click to send a chime, flicker the lights, or in this case, I'm going to actually click this one here. Now, what's going to happen is these events I mentioned earlier were disabled. That's because we don't want any Game Master accidentally clicking a button they shouldn't too early in the story as they progress. So you could actually have these set to be disabled until a certain time in the game, such as 30 minutes, or after another event has occurred. In this case, I'm going to click Demonic Whispers, which would create a spooky sound over the players. And when that happens, the game knows I'm far enough along that these other events can be ready to take place. And immediately, these are now available for the Game Master. Again, that's a safeguard to prevent from clicking the wrong button as you go. Now, obviously, you have predefined clues available to you, but at times you may need to send something to the players, like, hi there. You can send at any time, and you can also clear any existing clues you may have sent, whether it's a video, text, images, what have you. During the game as well, you have direct manual control over your devices in the room. Now, M3 has a wide variety of devices we support, from DMX, Philips Hue, Z-Wave, Arduino, Raspberry Pi, and even PLCs. We can work with multiple PLCs, and you'll see another example over here. Any hardware integration that we have will be shown with a status indicator in the top right. You'll notice we have two, a PLC number 1 and PLC number 2. In this case, this one is connected in green. This one is disconnected in red. That means we need to take a look at something potentially as we go through. This gives the Game Master a really good overview of any technology connected in your room. Additionally, I can actually manually override a particular prop if I want to by opening and closing, turning things on or off here. Also, it's very important, you can manually allow or disallow these controls for your Game Master. So again, you could take that away from a security standpoint if you were worried about it. For Philips Hue lights, I could actually control the intensity and even the color, as well as just the overall intensity of a particular light. We're going to go ahead now and go back to our objectives, and I'm going to actually complete this room, and they're going to do really well. They're only at 56 minutes, but we're going to speed right through this here. And again, you'll see my list keeps collapsing as we go. We'll complete this last one, and here, of course, our progress is going along really well, and boom. As soon as we do that, the game knows that it's been completed. We get our session results for team name, Game Master if you want that to record for historical purposes, comments, and I can manually force a success or a fail. In this case, we're going to discard. The moment that happens, it goes to an ended state, and we immediately get shown our checklist. Now, this is your reset checklist for your Game Masters, so they can have images of where props need to go, as well as text explaining each step by step that they need to reset the room. Once they've completed the reset of the room, they'll come back into the control room or use their tablet or iPhone or Android to press reset. That will automatically reset all of the objectives and clues we've sent, reset our timer, and set the room back to idle. This means the room is again ready for play. All right. The only other thing I'll talk about here is being able to work with your countdown screen. Now, we already have one open, but I'm going to take the time. I'm actually going to close that one. And we're going to come over here, and you actually have an open tool available to you where I can open the countdown timer right from here. So if you're using a traditional setup where you drag this over to another screen, I can do that. And then I can also click full screen right from here. All right. Thank you everyone for watching. Wait for our other videos we'll be showing, including system setup and other factors. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching our demonstration of the Game Master screen. Look for other videos as we move along.